Hey everyone, it's Casey Neistat here. You know I love to travel, right? Hitting the road, catching flights, exploring new places. It's in my blood. But travel can be tough, man, expensive, stressful, and sometimes you end up in situations that make you wish you stayed home. That's why I'm hyped to be talking about travel hacks today. We're diving deep into the top 10 travel hacks that can save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress on your next adventure. We're talking about those insider tips and tricks that can completely transform your travel experience. Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or planning your very first trip, these hacks are pure gold. Trust me, I've been there, done that, and I'm here to share the wisdom. So buckle up, grab your passport, and get ready to become a travel ninja. Let's get started.
All right, let's talk money. Nobody likes overpaying, especially when you're on a trip and every dollar counts. You know that feeling, right? You finally booked that dream vacation, but then you realize you spent way more than you budgeted for. The thing is, most travelers end up wasting a good chunk of their budget, like 15% or more, simply because they don't know the right hacks. I'm talking about booking flights at the optimal time, finding hidden deals on accommodation, and dodging those sneaky fees that airlines love to throw at you. It's like this. Imagine going to a restaurant and ordering the most expensive thing on the menu without even looking at the prices. That's what a lot of people do with travel. They just book the first thing they see without considering the alternatives. But it doesn't have to be that way. With a few simple hacks, you can unlock serious savings and stretch your travel budget way further. One of the biggest mistakes people make is booking their flights too late or too early. Airlines use these crazy algorithms to constantly change prices, so timing is everything. There are sweet spots where you can snag the best deals, and knowing when to book can save you hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Then there's accommodation. Hotels can be a black hole for your budget, but there are so many alternatives out there. Think Airbnb, hostels, even house sitting if you're feeling adventurous. The key is to explore all your options and compare prices before you hit that book button. And don't even get me started on hidden fees. Baggage fees, seat selection fees, resort fees, they're everywhere. But you know what? Most of these fees are completely avoidable if you know how to play the game. Pack light, choose your seats in advance, and read the fine print. It's all about being one step ahead.
Ever notice how travel can mess with your mind a little? You're jet-lagged, overwhelmed with new experiences, and suddenly you can't remember where you put your passport. That's your brain on travel, my friends. See, our brains aren't wired to handle constant change and decision-making. When we're bombarded with new information, we experience something called decision fatigue. It's like our brains get overloaded and start making bad choices. And that's where travel tips come in. They're not just random pieces of advice. They're actually rooted in cognitive psychology. By understanding how our brains work, we can use travel tips to hack our way to a smoother, more enjoyable experience. Think about it. Packing lists, itineraries, even simple things like organizing your belongings by category. These are all designed to reduce decision fatigue and keep your brain happy.
Let's take packing, for example. Packing can be a nightmare, right? You're stressed, you're running late, and you end up throwing random stuff in your suitcase hoping for the best. But what if I told you there's a better way? Pre-packing checklists are like magic for your brain. They eliminate the need to make decisions on the spot, so you can pack calmly and efficiently. Plus, they help you avoid overpacking, which means no more lugging around a heavy suitcase or paying those dreaded baggage fees. And once you're on the road, organizing your belongings by category can be a game changer. Keep your electronics together, your toiletries in one place, and your clothes neatly folded. This simple hack reduces visual clutter and makes it easier to find what you need, even when you're jet-lagged and delirious.
We live in a time where you can literally have the entire world in your pocket. It's incredible how much power and convenience we have at our fingertips. And I'm not being metaphorical, I'm talking about your phone. This thing right here is a game changer for anyone who loves to travel. It's not just a phone, it's a superpower for travelers. It transforms the way we explore and experience new places. Remember when people used to lug around those giant maps? It feels like a lifetime ago. Getting lost was basically part of the adventure. It was fun but also frustrating. Now you've got Google Maps. Offline Google Maps, bro. It's a lifesaver. Download the map of your destination before you go, and boom. You're navigating foreign streets like a local. No more getting lost, no data roaming charges, no stress. And translation? It's a breeze now. Forget about those clunky phrasebooks. Google Translate, man. It's a game changer. It's like having a real-time interpreter in your pocket. How cool is that? You can hold a conversation, read signs, even order food in a language you don't speak. It's insane. It's like magic. These apps, they're not just about convenience, they're about opening up the world. They make everything easier. You can be more spontaneous, more adventurous, more in the moment when you're not worried about getting lost or miscommunicating. It's liberating. That's what travel is all about, right? Embracing the journey and making the most of every moment. But wait, there's more. So much more to discover. Your phone can also help you uncover the hidden gems most tourists never find, those secret spots that make a trip unforgettable. You know those local spots, the ones with the best food and the realest vibes? Yeah, those. The places where locals hang out. Think about it. How many times have you gone to a new city and just ended up eating at the same chain restaurants you have back home? It's time to change that. With apps like Yelp and TripAdvisor, you can find those hole-in-the-wall places, the hidden treasures of the culinary world, the ones with the 5-star reviews from locals. You're welcome. These are the places that make your trip memorable. And it's not just about food. There's so much more to explore. Apps like Eventbrite and Time Out can tell you what's happening in the city while you're there. Concerts, festivals, art shows, markets, you name it. There's always something exciting going on. You can tap into the local scene, find out what's hot and happening, get a feel for the city's rhythm, and truly immerse yourself in the local culture. And experience something truly unique. These are the moments you'll remember. So yeah, technology has changed the game for travelers. It's a whole new world out there. It's given us the power to explore the world with more confidence, more freedom, and more opportunities for discovery. So ditch the guidebook, grab your phone, and get out there. The world is waiting for you to explore it.
All right, let's talk about flights. Specifically, the ridiculous dance of airline prices. You see that flight you've been eyeing? The one that seems like a decent deal? Yeah, that price can change faster than you can say carry-on luggage. Here's the thing. Airlines use these crazy sophisticated algorithms that take into account everything from the time of day to the price of jet fuel to how many people are searching for that exact flight. It's like a high-stakes game of chess, and we're the pawns. But don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging. There are ways to beat the system, or at least level the playing field. And it all starts with understanding how the game is played.
Remember those travel agents? The ones you used to have to call to book a flight? You'd spend hours on the phone trying to find the best deal. Well, those days are long gone, and thank goodness for that. Now you've got apps like Hopper and Google Flights, which are basically like having your own personal travel agent in your pocket. Except they work 24/7 and don't charge you a commission. It's like magic at your fingertips. Hopper, this app is like a crystal ball for flight prices. It's almost like it can see into the future. You tell it where you want to go and when, and it uses this crazy AI to predict when the price will be the lowest. It's like having a superpower for travel planning. It'll even tell you whether to book now or wait for a better deal. No more guessing games. It's spooky how accurate it is. You won't believe it until you see it for yourself. Google Flights is another game changer in the world of travel. It lets you search for flights across multiple airlines and dates, so you can see all your options in one place. It's like having a bird's eye view of the entire market. Plus, it tracks price changes and sends you alerts when there's a drop. Talk about convenience. It's like having a personal assistant. The point is, you don't have to overpay for flights. There's no need to break the bank. With a little bit of planning and the right tools, you can snag those deals and have more money to spend on the fun stuff. So go ahead, plan that dream trip without the stress.
Alright, let's talk about something super important: respecting local customs. When you travel, you're stepping into someone else's home, their culture, their way of life. And just like you wouldn't walk into someone's house and start rearranging their furniture, you gotta show some respect for the local ways of doing things. This isn't about being a goody two-shoes. It's about staying safe and having a more authentic experience. In some cultures, things that seem totally normal to you might be considered offensive. Like, did you know that in Thailand it's considered rude to point your feet at someone? Or that in some Middle Eastern countries it's important to dress modestly, especially in religious places. Now, I'm not saying you need to become an expert on every culture before you travel, but a little research goes a long way. Spend some time reading up on the local customs, traditions, and etiquette of the place you're visiting. Trust me, it's way better to be prepared than to accidentally offend someone. And here's a pro tip: when in doubt, just ask. Locals are usually more than happy to share their customs with you. In fact, it's a great way to strike up a conversation and learn something new. Remember, travel is all about stepping outside your comfort zone and experiencing something different. And part of that is respecting the people and places you visit. So be mindful, be respectful, and most importantly, be open to new experiences.
All right, listen up, because this is a game changer. You ever notice how those seasoned travelers, the ones who practically live at the airport, they never seem to be lugging around massive suitcases? That's because they're onto something. They know that checked bags are the ultimate travel buzzkill. Think about it: waiting in line to check your bag, hoping it actually makes it onto the plane, then playing the baggage carousel roulette at your destination. It's a recipe for stress and wasted time. But Casey, you're thinking, I'm going on a 2-week trip. How am I supposed to fit everything in a carry-on? I hear you. It's all about strategy, and the secret weapon is packing cubes. These things are magic, seriously. They compress your clothes down to nothing, keeping everything organized and easily accessible. No more digging through a bottomless pit of clothes just to find your socks. And the real game changer? Capsule wardrobes. Stick to a limited color palette and choose versatile pieces that can be mixed and matched. A couple of pairs of pants, some basic tops, a sweater or two, and boom, you're good to go. Remember, layers are your friend. Instead of packing bulky sweaters, bring thin layers that can be added or removed as needed. Plus, a light jacket can double as a blanket on the plane.
Let's talk airport lounges, those havens of peace and quiet in the chaotic world of air travel. You know, the ones with comfy chairs, free food, and maybe even a shower. Yeah, those. For some reason, there's this misconception that airport lounges are only for the super rich, the business class flyers, the ones who can drop hundreds of dollars without blinking an eye. But that's just not true. Sure, some lounges are reserved for elite status travelers, but there are tons of ways to access these oases of calm without breaking the bank. Trust me, I've made it my mission to find every airport lounge hack in the book. One word: travel cards. These babies can be your golden ticket to airport lounge bliss. There are tons of credit cards out there that offer complimentary lounge access as a perk. Do your research, find one that aligns with your spending habits, and watch the lounge doors swing open. Another option: Priority Pass. It's like a membership program for airport lounges, giving you access to over 1,300 lounges worldwide. You pay an annual fee, but it can be worth it if you travel frequently. And listen to this, sometimes you can even buy a day pass to a lounge. Yeah, you heard that right. Just walk up, pay a fee, and boom, instant relaxation. Check online or ask at the lounge desk to see if this is an option. So ditch the crowded gate areas and treat yourself to some pre-flight luxury. You deserve it.
Listen, I love a good guidebook as much as the next traveler. They're great for getting a general lay of the land. But let's be real, the best travel experiences, the ones you remember long after you've unpacked your bags, those come from venturing off the beaten path, from connecting with locals and discovering hidden gems. And how do you find these hidden gems? It's simple. Ask the people who know best, the locals. Don't be afraid to strike up conversations, ask for recommendations, and get their insider perspective. Trust me, most locals are more than happy to share their favorite spots. Whether it's a hole-in-the-wall restaurant with the best food you'll ever taste, or a secluded beach that's not overrun with tourists. Think about it. Who knows a city better than the people who live and breathe it every day? They can steer you away from tourist traps, those overpriced restaurants with mediocre food, and point you towards authentic experiences. Plus, interacting with locals adds a whole other layer of richness to your trip. You get to learn about their culture, their customs, and their way of life. It's these interactions that create lasting memories. So ditch the guidebook for a minute, step outside your comfort zone, and ask a local for their recommendations. You might be surprised at the hidden gems you discover. And hey, if you're feeling really adventurous, ask them about their favorite local dish. You might just discover a new favorite food.
All right, so you think you've got travel all figured out, right? You've got your go-to moves, your trusty hacks. But here's the thing about travel. It's always changing. What worked last year, heck, even last month, might not fly today. Remember when Uber first hit the scene? Boom, cheap rides everywhere, blowing taxis out of the water. It was a game changer, right? Suddenly, you could get around a new city without haggling fares or deciphering maps in a foreign language. But guess what? The travel landscape shifts, and it shifts fast. These days, you might find local taxis, ride-sharing apps you've never even heard of, or even just good old-fashioned public transport are cheaper and more efficient. The point is, don't get stuck in your ways. What worked once might not work forever. Always be open to new possibilities, new apps, new ways of doing things. That's how you stay ahead of the game. And trust me, that's how you keep those travel experiences fresh and exciting. Remember when Airbnb was the holy grail of budget travel? Crashing on someone's couch, living like a local, all for a fraction of the price of a hotel. Those were the good old days, right? But things change, my friends. Airbnb, with its ever-increasing fees and cleaning charges, isn't always the steal it used to be. I mean, seriously, some of these cleaning fees are higher than the actual cost of the stay. You start adding it all up, and suddenly that charming little Airbnb apartment is costing you more than a decent hotel room. And let's be real, hotels have their perks, right? Clean towels, someone to make your bed, maybe even a continental breakfast. Don't get me wrong, Airbnb can still be awesome, but the point is, don't assume it's always the cheapest or best option. Do your research, compare prices, factor in those sneaky fees. Sometimes you might be surprised to find that a good old-fashioned hotel is the way to go.
Let's talk about some next-level travel hacks. The kind that are so clever, so borderline genius, they almost feel like cheating. Ever heard of using an AirTag to track your luggage? You slip one of those bad boys into your suitcase and boom! You can see exactly where your bag is at all times. No more lost luggage anxiety. Or how about this one, using a fake boarding pass to gain access to airport lounges? Now, I'm not saying I condone this, but hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, right? The point is, the internet is a treasure trove of these kinds of unorthodox travel tips. Now, I'm not saying you should go out there and start breaking the rules, but it's always good to be aware of the creative ways people are navigating the world of travel. You might just pick up a tip or two that could save you time, money, or a whole lot of travel headaches.
There you have it, folks. 10 travel hacks that should have you navigating airports, hotels, and foreign lands like a seasoned pro. Remember, the key to being a savvy traveler is to stay informed, be adaptable, and never stop exploring new ways to make your journeys even better. If you found these tips helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more travel adventures and insider advice. And don't forget to share your own favorite travel hacks in the comments below. Until next time, safe travels everyone. Travel.